The 10th anniversary of the very day Massachusetts became the first state in the country to allow same-sex marriage.
Yeah, once again, Massachusetts is making history. It always has and always will.
Massachusetts became the first state in the U.S. to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples on May 17, 2004. As the first state in the United States to do this, they have always had a reputation of being supportive and accepting to the gay community, but has not always been this way.
It is also home to the country's first openly gay state representative, Elaine Noble, and Gay Community News, which was one of the first newspapers to discuss gay rights.
For all this, Scollay Square was a home to the gay community. It represented a progressive spirit out of step with its time. Its destruction signaled an end to that. With this in mind, is Boston as progressive as we perceive it to be?
Scollay Square was located in downtown Boston at the intersection of Tremont Street and Court Street. In the 1940s, the area was rich with bars, restaurants, and burlesques that attracted the gay community. The most notable landmark of Scollay Square was the Old Howard Theater, which housed popular burlesque shows and dances. There were hotels and movie theaters that could be rented out for a few hours or a night, which was desirable to many sailors who arrived in Boston and would meet up with men during their stays. However, Scollay Square could exist because people kept their sexualities hidden. The area was gay, but it wasn't out of the closet.
Although gay people liked this area, Scollay Square was seen as a haven of moral delinquency. This was the age of the nuclear family and white picket fences. Named after Senator Joseph McCarthy, the 1950s were labeled the McCarthy era in America. Fueled by the Cold War, McCarthy put in numerous anti-communist laws that infringed upon the rights of many minority groups, such as the gay community. Many female impersonators appeared in the public eye as acts of resistance against discrimination against gays and lesbians. In return, many establishments would ban these impersonators.
With McCarthyism in full swing, the Lavender Scare saw the U.S. government performing a witch hunt against homosexuals, who were removed from their employment as security risks. The DSM-1, 2, and 3 identified homosexuality as a disorder. It was not until 1986 that homosexuality was removed from the DSM-3R. The Federal Housing Act of 1949 allowed the city to initiate their new Boston Plan. Overseen by the Boston Redevelopment Authority, the plan wanted to renovate several neighborhoods in the city. From City Councilor Frederick "Freddie" Lagon, "We will be better off without these incubators of homosexuality and indecency and bohemian way of life. I tell you right now, we will be better off without it, and if we accomplish nothing else, at least we will uproot this cancer in one area of the city." In 1961, the city demolished Scollay Square.
Despite its large homosexual presence, Scollay Square was a community popular for people of all sexualities. The demolition of Scollay Square was more than the loss of a city neighborhood. It represented a loss of culture.
The seedier parts of it moved to an area known as the Combat Zone, which was located next to Chinatown. The notion of moving the community next to Chinatown was reflective of the intolerance of the community. They wanted to keep the gay community controlled. The message was clear: Boston showed bigotry towards homosexuality.
Although Massachusetts did a lot for the gay movement, some politicians in the state still strongly disagree with the idea of gay marriage. Mitt Romney appeared alongside of same-sex marriage opponents during rallies at the State House in 2006.
When Massachusetts legalized gay marriage, Governor Mitt Romney opposed the passing of the law. He even tried to implement a law that would stop same-sex couples from other states from coming into Massachusetts to get married. There was no law specifically prohibiting homosexuality, but the state legislators simply allowed their bill, which restricted gay marriage, to expire after 180 days.
Is Boston as progressive as we perceive it to be? Perhaps not. The city experienced many of the same prejudices as the rest of the country in the McCarthy era. The actions against the gay community did significant damage. Their spirit, however, could not be destroyed as easily.